Next is from Hussein Jafar. Subject is Dave Meltzer. My name is Hussein Jafar. I can say I've been a fan of Conan since WCW days. So I think you guys would agree. A match is equally as important as the story being told. Austin Rock, HBK Triple H, HBK Y2J, etc. Most of these matches got 4 stars. Austin versus Rock Mania was great. The story, the turn, the match, etc. How in the blue Dave Meltzer, who is trash, handing out 5 stars for the BCC versus Elite? Laugh out loud. I can't believe this. By the way, Meltzer's me blocked on Twitter because I called him out on his. How did the Bucks and Kenny get 5-star matches all the time? And no offense to them, but I'm starting to think Meltzer's being paid by AEW. Bro, you're getting too triggered by Dave Meltzer's star ratings. Is I think the obvious answer to this email. Would you agree with that, Conan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave is not getting. He's not getting paid, but he's been giving 5-star matches to the Bucks and those guys when they wrestle in Japan.
Yeah, he probably likes them, but he likes their style. But I mean, it isn't like his word is gospel. You have your own mind, make up your own mind. I just think that great matches are overrated because if I'd rather have a match that has a lot of heat than a 5-star match that doesn't have that much heat. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question.
That to me is a good match if the match has heat. Yeah.
What would you rather have? A great build and a match, or a mediocre build and a 5-star match, but the great build drew more money?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused at that question.
It's a simple question. What? Would you rather have a great build that concludes with the match, like the match tonight, the match is good,
right,
versus a mediocre build, but the guys have a great match, but the match drew more money and then more fans? What would you as a
the first
what would
one.
You be
the first one?
Yeah. You're more as a booker. You're more interested, right. But like as a fan, I'm wondering what the answer to that would be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the fans get kind of like fans don't look at stuff through the promoter's eyes. They think if like there's a match that like everything was terrible and business was bad. It's like no, the build was great. We drew like the house man. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
We can work our way out of a match, but it's like but like you said, sometimes great matches don't lead to great business. There's no connection to great business sometimes, and if there isn't, it's like. All right, these guys had a great match, but they're not really drawing with the promos and stuff, right? So it's like, what would you rather have? Guys that can draw, that their work might not be as good, or guys that like, can always have a good match, but you have to work harder to get them over and draw numbers, but they're just not as good at the other stuff. Let me ask you a question, Conan. Who's your top 2 or 3 guys right now that like, okay, these guys are good on the mic, and I'm going to get them mic work. Like we're gonna put them together. Like who's good on the mic these days in AAA?
This guy called Pagano, another guy called Cibernetico. Who else? Psycho Clown. Those 3.
Right. Who's a guy that's very talented? You want to push the guy and you want to put the rocket ship under him, but he's underwhelming in his promos and needs some work.
Promos are not as important in Mexico as they are in the United States.
Right. But who's guys that you did? They're just like they could use some work, but they're really good.
Like half the promotion.
Right. Yeah. It's like, bro, like when guys grow up and embrace work and spots and stuff, and they never really took time out to like cut promos in the mirror and stuff for things. Like when it's time to do it, and you haven't really practiced it. It's like
even in the United States, there's not a lot of good promo people.
Yeah. Right, you're absolutely right. And just bro, anybody listening to this, if you're a professional wrestler, you're listening to a guy that books a show. If you can cut good promos, you're probably going to get used more by the booker. Okay, that's kind of a formula that's it's pretty consistent in wrestling over the years. Do you agree on that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So next is from our smart mark booker guy, Brian Dunlap. Subject is, what would it take for you to punch a wrestling fan in the face at a wrestling show? Hello, Conan, Disco, and Joe. Wrestling fans can be very rowdy at shows. They pelted wrestlers with various different objects and taken all kinds of shots at wrestlers. I assume that typically for wrestling, a wrestling fan get in a physical altercation, the wrestler wins. However, I did see one video where an indie wrestler spat on a little girl in the crowd, and then that wrestler got his ass handed to him by the girl's dad immediately afterwards. Some promoters should have signed the dad to a contract, at least to a per appearance deal.
Sorry about that.
What would it take, you guys, to start swinging on a wrestling fan or fans if they cross a line? And has it ever come close to any of you guys going to blows to the marks? Like, no. Bro, there's one thing you know at a show, and you should know if you get any common sense at all, is you can't hit the fans. You're going to get sued. Like, that's just this common sense. Unless the fan is trying to hit the ring, then you can protect yourself because the guy is obviously an aggressive thing. You know, you can defend yourself. But, like hitting fans that are on the other side of the rail, that's like when I see wrestlers do stuff like that, I'm like, what? Like, well, is this guy an idiot? Like, he doesn't like, or maybe he's never been told. You can't interact physically with the fans, because I see a lot of indie guys doing stuff like that. I just wonder if they've never been told, if they're just too stupid to not even know. You know, what do you think?
In the United States, I never hit a fan, but in Mexico, I did. Bro, you have no choice because there was no security. And if a guy's
attacking you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been punched before. I've been spit on. And so if you don't defend yourself, everybody thinks it's, open field, and they, you know what I'm saying? But once they see that you clock somebody, then they chill the fuck out. But this was back in the 90s, early 90s.
Next is
you want to see the 2 clips he sent us of the fans getting punched or whatever?
Sure, why not?
Okay. This is the first one. This is at XPW, which they run all over the place. They
still run?
Now. They came back, and I think they run in Cali, and then I think they've been in New York. That. So, all right.
Oh! Why did he do that?
Because he had a sign.
Yeah,
I mean, is he
Billy
physically...
Corrigan? It says
no.
Billy
Here's
Corrigan.
the question: does he do anything to the guy before the guy hits him with the light bulb?
He's just like, maybe it's stuff that he's saying, but he's definitely leaning over the guardrail, and maybe he's pushing him. Let's see.
Okay, maybe he is pushing him.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, he backed up into him, I think.
No, he was setting. I think.
Yeah.
I would have to see in context of this. I would be willing to bet that there was some interaction between these two before this happened, because this guy looks like he's setting up in front of him for a spot to hit him with the thing, which he did.
Right.
And then
Right.
So okay. So the context of that, do you have another clip, Joe? That I would be willing to bet there was something that happened before that between the two.
The guys. Oh, that was Kit Osborne.
Who?
Okay. Kit Osborne. I've heard the name. I don't know.
Have you heard the name Kit Osborne? Who?
Never.
Okay. Let's see. He's probably just a hardcore guy.
Obviously.
And here's the other one. Yeah, I mean, light bulb to a fan's head. All right, wrestler spits on. There's the 9-year-old girl one. I guess the dad.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this.
Fights this guy.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, this is stupid too.
That sounds terrible. So you don't want to
idiot this kid. No, play it. I want to know because I want to see this again, because this is like one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Oh.
It looks like the fam went over too, right, Conan?
Yeah. Doesn't look like it. He did.
The guy spits on the ground in front of a 9-year-old girl, and the dad whooped his ass. That's a good angle. They literally should have signed the dad. All right, I'm going to read one Billy mailbag here, because this is how unhinged he makes the fans. Okay, so Greg Gandolfini, the subject is Billy D-Bag Body is banned from New Jersey. How you doing, K100? First off, I was fuming after finding out this low-life Billy Body said about Zelina Vega's dad dying in the Twin Towers. Do you know how many good friends I lost in that tragedy? Firefighters, police officers, real heroes, unlike that known as Bill Body. Matter of fact, I want everyone to hear this. Bill Body is not allowed in New Jersey. This is a lifetime ban. What do you think about this ass clown joking about Zelina's dad who was killed in the World Trade Center? By the way, the LWO is killing it. All my regards to Zelina, her friends and family. Well, one of the things Billy cannot handle himself on Twitter. That's one of the reasons he gets a lot of hate. He tweets stuff like that where he insulted Zelina. He made fun of Zelina's dad dying in 9/11, and like, it's like, bro, this is how mad you make people. It's like, I don't know, whatever.
We've said it. I don't
I
understand what he's thinking.
He's so
I don't
bitter,
know.
his shadow doesn't want to hang out with him. Yeah,
Right? Yeah, it's crazy. And it's funny too, because I don't get this out of him when I see him in like real life. It's just on Twitter he has to act like this complete douchebag. It's like
And
unbelievable.
it's like obviously he wants to be around wrestling. He loves it no matter what he says.
But he hates the fans.
He
And
does
it's like
stuff like-
stupid, and
Well, no, but I'm
insults all
saying,
the
like,
fans. I'm like, what are you doing? It's
not
like,
even the fans. Like he'll do that, which obviously Zelina Vega would probably smack him if she saw him and if she knew he said that. But then he's done things, tweets about Jim Ross's wife or
Bro,
Reed Flair.
I know.
Like, why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're in a business where you're trying to sell subscriptions,
Yeah.
and you're calling the marketplace a bunch of dorks and losers.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, it's like, it's like what? I don't know. It's just. Next is from Wayne Miller. Subject is perspective. Wayne from Australia. Good day, K100. Hope you guys are well. I'd love to hear your guys' perspective on this. Is pro wrestling fundamentally closer to sport or theater? Smoke that good boys. Theater, obviously, because theater is what makes professional wrestling click. Not that it's sport, because nobody's just going to show up just to watch guys wrestle. You got to they're showing up to watch the theater. Would you agree with that, Conan?
Yep.
So I've always said that like wrestlers should be under SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, because very like what they are. They're live action, like they're live action actors. You're acting as a professional, like you're acting out a professional sports combat thing, and you're doing it live in front of people. But you're acting, which is why I don't understand why the Screen Actors Guild would have been the perfect prism to put it under. I don't know. Next is from Travis. The subject is Dirty Dango versus Marks. Hello. You guys talk about the Marks and IWC, how they act and whatnot. Have you seen what Dirty Dango, a.k.a. Fandango, is doing in Impact? The promo packages are great, taking shots at the Marks. If you haven't, here you go. Play this, Joe. I've not seen this.
Okay.
Because Fandango was a big fan of we were a big fan of him on the show when he was with when they were doing the Fashion Police. Correct, Conan?
Yep.
Yeah. Wee woo wee. That really was funny. Wee woo wee.
Why are we doing a promo next to this asbestos-led building here? This is the best shot you guys could get. I played the role as the jester, the dancing clown, because I was getting paid a ton of money. Every week would be deposited in my Chase account. What? Just hold on, bro. I try to get upgrade on Delta. I took that money, invested it all, and I get a 12 to 15% return now, and I'm in a financial place in my life where I don't need to play the clown anymore. I don't even need to be here now, but they just keep paying me. So I'll keep taking your money and keep investing it. I don't really care. I mean, the thing I do care about is when I land back home every week. Now I have wrestlers texting me, "Hey man, cool promo," or "I really liked your edgy stuff," which sucks because the last thing I want to do when I'm home is talk to a wrestler. You don't want me to chew gum? The sound guy doesn't want me to chew gum, but I don't really give. I mean, if there's anybody out there who just wants to pay me not to show up to TV, I'm your guy. You won't hear a peep out of me. I won't on Twitter about how I'm not being used. I will stay home. Pay me every 2 weeks, once a month. I'll be the best employee you ever had. Let me go to some armory with a bunch of awkward 18 to 35-year-old males and shake sweaty hands for 4 hours. Yeah, that sounds like a real good Saturday afternoon. Sounds like a real good time.
We really liked your match at Under Siege.
It was great. At what?
Under Siege, the pay-per-view.
What's your name? 5X Dirty Dango shirt will not cover up the smell of you, okay? So take a shower, man. Have some respect for yourself. I know you like to critique us online and say how much we suck. You guys local from London?
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. I don't know. They're all weird, man. All the fans are really similar. The same. I think they're the same creepy nerds that buy custom wrestling tapes. They're the same ones that we see out back here for sure. You're not gonna be at the airport at 4 a.m. tomorrow, are you?
No,
Baseball,
but Billy will.
baseball card marks. I think I made it pretty clear, man, that I care less about winning that toy title. If I was
Digital
host of
media
the locker
title.
room here, I would have already ordered my replica digital media championship online and had it delivered the day I won that title. But unfortunately, unlike most of the locker room, I actually can pull real life girls. And the last thing I want is to bring a girl home and she sees some wrestling replica title on my wall, because that's repellent. You think Harley Race would have a toy title on its mantle? So if I win Joe's toy title at Against All Odds, this is what I'm going to do. Because I don't put a lot of thought into wrestling, but I did put a lot of thought into this on the plane ride here, first class. I'm going to take the toy title and I'm going to list it on eBay. Okay. The real actual toy title. List it on eBay. And I'm going to take the proceeds and I'm going to Hawaii in November with a girl.
Excellent.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Bro, what a great character development. Like,
Character,
the guy's a complete douchebag. You know,
Right.
It's like, right off the bat, it's like, I want to see
Imagine
somebody
if they
whoop
got the
this
guy
guy's
from
ass, you know?
Cobra. Imagine if they got the guy from Cobra Kai and him and the guy showed up in his car with the Fozzie in the background. Yeah, that would be great.
Right. Yeah, the good stuff. How about Joe?
Yeah,
Send me the
very
link to
good.
that. I want to tweet that out and give the guy props for that. That's some of the better stuff I've seen on promo stuff lately from anybody.
Yes.
All right.
What
next
was the
is-
question?
Just have we seen this? Yeah, he would just
what
wanted
do
to
you
okay.
think about him?
Yeah, good tweet there, because I would have never
You
seen
want
that.
to use that for like an Easter egg, Conan?
Yeah, he could put that.
Yeah.
Maybe
All
that's
right,
good stuff.
I'm sending it to you both.
All right, next is from JD Wolf, and the subject is 3-part question: the future wrestlers. Disco, I have 3 parts for you and Conan. Surprised me that WWE never put the strap on Joe Henning, aka Curtis Axel, to make up for never putting it on Mr. Perfect when Joe's words speak for itself. This guy even helped train Brock Lesnar, but no world championship. They put it on Orton, who comes from a great wrestling family, and Reigns, who also does as well. Generational wrestlers are hit and miss sometimes. They can't be expected to outshine their family's star power. Disco, you mentioned Braun Breaker being a future face of the company in WWE. Do you think they will make him a world heavyweight champion, or will he be passed by and remain a mid-card, or will he use the Steiner name? My third question is, do you think Brian Pillman Jr. will ever get to share the spotlight that his father did? I see him in meaningless matches, and it ticks me off when I absolutely love the guy's work and have followed his career since MLW. He could be great talent to have in TNT Championship rivalry, and I don't understand why they keep dicking him around. Kindest regards, one of K100's biggest fans, JD from Oklahoma.
He finished off strong there, but he started his email comparing Curtis Axel to Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, which was a little like,
Okay,
huh?
so it's not surprising they never put the strap on him, to JD. The second question is Braun Breaker. Will he use a Steiner name? Yeah, I don't know. So who knows? Well, he should use a Steiner name. He looks like a Steiner. The third question.
And he is a Steiner.
If they would take Pillman and give him something to sink his teeth into, maybe let him be a heel, kind of, not imitate his dad, but do something similar, and they, presented that on Collision, I'd watch every week, because I think Pillman Jr. has the talent to do something like that, and I'd like to see it. He's been in AEW the whole time, and I haven't seen too much,